welcome to Big Tiny Dreams, and this is Joni. I just filmed like a decent little amount and realized I didn't even have my microphone on, so I'm doing this again. If I goof up, forgive me. But that's how I keep it real. What you see is what you get. What I was saying when I thought I was filming, well, I actually was filming, I'm sorry, when I thought I was filming correctly and had my mic on, was that with my channel name, as you saw in the last video, Big Tiny Dreams, I'm going to be downsizing and moving hopefully to a tiny home by spring, early summer of 2024, if everything goes accordingly. So in the process of all that, we're going to start packing and getting rid of things now, because I do not want to be stuck at the last minute and have a lot of stuff to have to deal with. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I've had to go through, you know, when my mother-in-law passed away, her things, when my father-in-law remarried, some of his things, and with my husband moving out and us getting divorced, and then him passing away, me and the kids still have more of his things to go through. So that being said, I wanted to show some of the things I'm looking at, some of the things I'm going to be giving to my oldest daughter. Her husband does beekeeping as well as being a fireman, but they live on 3 acres and they try and make a lot of, you know, she makes a lot of homemade healthy stuff. So I mentioned to her I have some stainless steel if she's interested in it, which she said she would like to take. But some of these things might be going to Goodwill that she doesn't want. She can watch this video and maybe see, hey mom, you said you were giving this away. I think I want it, and that'll be fine. Some of it might be trash worthy, so we will deal with it that way. But anyway, back a few years ago, before I realized my husband was up to things he shouldn't have been, yet again, after 4 years previously going through all that, we had said we were going to sell the house and move to like the Smoky Mountains. There was like a resort park type place where you could get like a nice motorhome camper or whatever, but own your own lot and live in like Gatlinburg area in the middle of the mountains. My grandparents used to own a place there and take me there. So at the time, because of his health and all, I was like, hey, this would be great, and you can live more like you want to, because he grew up being a Boy Scout, went camping and all these adventures, and he would be able to go fishing and go through the mountains and all that stuff. But then the pandemic hit, and then that right as the pandemic was happening is when I found out what he was up to again. So I know that's a long story, maybe not everybody wants to hear, but that's what I went through. So at the time though, when we thought we were leaving, I had a set of this here. It's called Tuscany. It came from a department store. I know it sounds like a weird name, but it was called Gay First. I don't even know if they have them anymore. Years later, the department store became Dillard's, because it was in the mall down there in Gulfport, Mississippi, and they had them like in Mobile, Alabama, and maybe even New Orleans too, because we were kind of in between both. But as a wedding present, someone had given us a cookware set that was made of this pattern, and one was a rectangular baking dish, one was a square baking dish, and one was like a round, about that deep casserole dish that had a lid that matched it. But the lid also, you flip it over on its back, and it's even shallower, like a pie dish, but it had little handles. And it all had this Tuscany glass fruit pattern. I don't know if you could see that. And then I had some goblets that looked just like this. I think the goblets in this, me and my husband got ourselves to go with it. But the goblets look kind of like the big fruit bowl, but smaller. They're about this big and had a little bit longer stem. It was a set of 4. I gave all that to my oldest daughter because I thought we were going to be, moving to the Smoky Mountains back then. And then we didn't. So now I have this. I'm asking her if she would like to take that to match. You can make a fruit salad in it and put it in the little goblets. So she said, sure, she would take that. So this I'm going to set aside on my coffee bar. And this back here, you probably can't see because of all the stuff. I'll eventually show it more. This is an old sideboard buffet. If I had room for something like that, I might take it, but it's got like water stains and stuff on it. I'm thinking if I had room to make another coffee bar or whatever, I would refinish it. I'd like to sand it down, stain it and maybe get some new hardware on it. But I doubt I'm going to be able to take such a big item, even though it's going to be a park model size tiny home as opposed to the itty bitty ones. But yeah, there's that. This is my stainless steel. This is actually Farberware. My husband bought me this years ago at the outlet mall there in Gulfport, Mississippi. It came with all of this stuff. The lid to this other thing goes to this. And Courtney, if you're watching this, my oldest daughter, you can see if you want this, which I think she might. I forgot it has a steamer. And you can set it on top of the large pot and the lid on top of there. Because the tiny home that that I would like to go to, I don't know if it's all going to work out, but the one we're talking about doing, it doesn't come with the appliances. So I'd have to get a stove or stovetop. And I'm really wanting to go with induction. I've had electric stoves all my life. That's what I grew up having there in Mississippi. Then we moved out here. Our first place had a smooth top electric stove, and that was so much easier to clean. I have a gas stove in this house. I hate it. It puts out so much heat when I try and cook anything, even, especially in the summer, I don't cook on it because I'm like a melted puddle by the time I'm halfway through my meal, cooking it, not eating it. So yeah, I don't want a gas stove. Besides that, I saw a video on YouTube once of a chef that he tested induction against gas top and against electric to see which one was better. And actually, induction won, said that it cooked 30% faster and did not put out the heat that, like the gas stove, said that a lot of heat escapes. And so I know I've grown up hearing, oh, if I just had a gas stove because they cook more evenly and all this kind of stuff. I've never experienced that with my gas stove. Maybe I'm already partial to the other, but and it's a pain in the butt to clean. I just got to say that. So that being said, I can't keep stainless steel because it does not work on a induction. Now, you might know of ones that, maybe there's a special bottom to them that will be able to cook on induction. I've heard the taste test. The test to find out if it'll work is if a magnet will stick to the bottom. I don't have a magnet with me right now, but yeah, I've already tested. None of these will work. It's been great cookware except for that. And then it came with this frying pan, which is pretty good. And the lid fits on that as well. And then I have this little stock pot as well. And then this big one here, this was my mother-in-law's. This was left behind for me to keep. And it's a really big, nice one. This is a different brand. It says Basics. It's a 12-inch. That's huge. I didn't realize 12 inches was that big. But anyway, it has a nice clear glass lid that fits on that and has the little hole right there for steam to escape. So I'm going to get rid of that. I have a, which I'll probably show sometime because I do plan to show some cooking videos, but being that it's been so hot, I haven't done as much. I got a lot to go through and stuff out there that I've pulled out. So, and it's been too hot to work in the kitchen much. But anyway, I have some, it's called, I think, Circulon, that I got a couple of years ago at Costco. And it will work on induction, and it's a full set. So I don't need any of this. I kept it because I'm like, well, you never know. I might need it, blah, blah, blah. Nope, I'm going to do that. Now here, there's random lids in here. I'm going to use this box here to move the stuff into. But while I'm doing that, see, this was my mother-in-law. She had that snapware. When I had to go through her things after my father-in-law left and she passed away, I had the container to this, and I'm like, there's no lid. I might as well get rid of it. Found the lid somewhere. I don't know where, but now I don't need the lid because, yeah, there's no container for it. So I'm just going to set that to the side because I don't have a box for get rid of. I could probably put that in a Goodwill box, even though it's just a lid, because I'm sure there are people that like, oh man, I lost my lid. I'm going to go look at the Goodwill, see if I can find the lid to to the container that I have. That's what I'm thinking. Some people might do that. I do have the container to this. So I'm going to set that on my coffee maker behind me. These, being I work at Walmart, I'm able to see when things go on clearance, and I'll watch them like a hawk until I see it go down to my price range. And I keep saying, once it's, yard sale prices, that's when I'm buying them. Now, these might not have been that low. They're little, Wilton's the brand, which I think they make the cake decorating supplies. My mother-in-law used to decorate cake. She actually made my wedding cake. She had a lot of supplies, and I don't know if I still have them, but I know that brand from her. Excuse me, my glasses sliding down again. But there was these little donut ones, and I have been trying to lose weight. I know I don't need to make donuts, but I'm like, maybe I could find or come up with a recipe where they're not as, full of sugar and not as bad for you, not as high in carbs or whatever, because I've already lost, since everything went down with my husband and all, I've lost like 35 pounds. I've got a ways to go, but you can only imagine how much bigger I look then. But anyway, I'm keeping those because I want to make some, nice things like that. So that, I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to start moving this stuff in this box. This here, probably wonder what that is. That is, I got my daughter this thing after the holidays at Sam's Club, I think. It's a hot chocolate bomb maker, if you know anything about those. You melt the chocolate and put it in here, and you can fill it with, I don't know, little marshmallows and things like that. And then when you put it in your hot chocolate, it melts and all the different flavors and things go in there. So I know I'll be keeping that. She hadn't even got to use it yet because it was like after Christmas sale. I've got some little cookie cutters. I don't know what that looks kind of like a star. Forgive me if I don't know what that is, but I have oh, maybe it's just shaped that way. There's a Christmas tree like that too. I don't know, when you cut them out, maybe they look different. And a gingerbread and like a snowflake. I do want to cook and make things like that. I just haven't yet. So I'm cleaning this box out. If you want to know a little something about me, my first job ever, I think I was 18, because you had to be 18. Maybe you may or may not believe this, was selling Tupperware. And when I look back on how shy I used to be, I'm like, I can't believe I ever did that. I don't think I ever hardly sold any. The ladies in the church that I grew up in, they were all nice and would, book a Tupperware party with me. And everybody would try and be nice and order a little something. But yeah, it just never went anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. Whoa, that's heavy with one on. For my daughter. So that's one little bit I'm downsizing. Oh gosh, that pretty much fills that box up. Okay, so this was I'm getting rid of that. This is the little draining thing for George Foreman grill. I think I had like a single serve George Foreman grill. You put the little burger or chicken in there. I don't even think I have that anymore. I have to look in the garage, but that's a maybe, because if I still have the grill, I'd want the thing to catch the fat, but I don't know that I have it. This goes in kind of like a bento box thing. I don't know if that's the actual brand. It might be a Rubbermaid. And we do, what did it say? Arctic Zone. There's the lid. I have another container that this goes to. There's the Tupperware lid, and I may or may not have the container to that. Oh, here's the container to this lid. And there we go. And this I have over there. I'll have to eventually bring that over and show. This is, it's filled with like some kind of gel. It goes in like a salad bowl. You put this in the freezer, and then you put your salad in the bowl. I think I got this at Aldi or Target or something a couple of years ago. And I have a little container to put salad dressing. Has a screw-on cap that goes in the middle. But you can put your little salad toppings in this and your lettuce underneath, and there's a lid that goes over the top, which We do try and bring lunches at work, so I like to have a lunchbox. I have some lids here. I'll have to check and see if I have the containers to them first before I get rid of them. This is, I think, came in the mail, an old thing that says Cooking Club. And it has, like, you're supposed to be able to measure your spaghetti through the holes. Like, this is for 4 people, 4 servings, 3 servings, 2 servings, 1. I don't know that I'm actually going to use that because, I don't, is that actually going to be a serving for me or someone? I just cook up the whole package and, everybody gets their spaghetti. We have leftovers, we put it away and we go, make more sauce to go with it the next day. So I'm not going to keep that. I'll put it in here with the stuff for my daughter. If she doesn't want it, I'll take it out. And this is from, like, oh my gosh, this is Tupperware, like a shake and pour. I got to see if I have the container for that, where you can put it has like a measuring cup that goes underneath it, and you put your salad dressing mix. Back in the day, which some people still do that, but a lot of people notice buy their salad dressing already made. But you can make your own. I like to make pasta salad. There's a lady I watch on YouTube that makes her own salad dressing with really good extra virgin olive oil and red wine vinegar and like garlic and different things. I might make that on here one day. And these are, Tupperware used to have these little bitty containers, and with the little bitty lids. These, I think, were my mother-in-law's. These weren't even from when I used to sell Tupperware. I have the set of them over there. What I think is neat, like, I've made homemade hummus before, put a little hummus in it, could take it to work. Or your salad dressing, if you need an extra serving of that. I think I have I have to check and see I have the containers to these. I don't think I have this. This is like a take-along, Rubbermaid take-along that's real flimsy. Like, I don't really use those. And these I think I have. Now it looks like I'm not getting rid of anything. Although I am going to get rid of these, I think. These were my mother-in-law's. She would make frozen dinners, and then when they would travel, they had like a condo or something they would go stay in, and she would pack the little frozen dinners. And like whenever she would cook a meal, have some leftovers, she would portion them out for her and her husband, and then she'd freeze them, take them in an ice chest to where they go, and so they could just spend time they would go out to eat occasionally, I'm sure. But I've thought about it, and I'm like, I thought about keeping them, but I don't know that, I'm not one of those that worries about every little thing, but I don't think it's probably best to heat up in plastic in the microwave, especially if these are older. They're going to have chemicals that can leach into the food. And I've thought about, if I want to do something like that, I might go with glass. Or what I typically do is, like, the smaller containers of something like this, the little square ones, I will put, like, if I make chicken and dumplings or something in it, I'll make it, put the lid on it, and because I usually don't like to eat much at work, I might take it out of the freezer, thaw it in the fridge, and then I dump it into a glass bowl and heat it up in the microwave that way. This is a big Tupperware lid, of course, for those big bowls that they used to have, which were great for fixing a lot, but I think I got rid of that, so I don't need, actually, I probably should put that in the Goodwill pile. Oh, here's the other lid to these. I don't know that my daughter would want these. Now, here's one that might be okay. That's similar to that, and it actually has a venting thing. As long as it doesn't have the harmful chemicals and stuff, I will be okay with that. So I'll probably get rid of those. I know it looks like I'm keeping a lot still, but typically what I do is I go through everything, get rid of, throw away, whatever, and then I'll come back later, I don't know, a week or two, and rethink things. It's kind of like the way I shop too. Sometimes when I'm shopping at Walmart, I'm like, ooh, look at this. This is a good deal. I think I'll get that, and I like that. I'll put stuff in my cart. Not a ton of stuff, because, I'm not planning on spending a lot when I shop there anyway. But sometimes I have all these good deals. I put them in there, and I get to going, and I'm like, like this raggedy dish rag. I'll say it's an article of clothing or something. I'm like, do I really need this now? I could probably wait, or maybe this will go on sale more or whatever. And then I end up putting up 3/4 of what I've got in my cart and only get the couple of items. This looks like a dead spider in there. These were in the garage. I don't have spiders throughout the rest of the house. This is a springform pan, and I'll probably keep this there. I had a Splenda cookbook. I still have it down there. I'll show it sometime. I don't necessarily like to use Splenda so much. I like monk fruit, but now I'm hearing erythritol causes, heart attacks and strokes. So I don't know for sure. I might wait on that before I make more like that. But I can make lower sugar cheesecake. There was a recipe in there for sugar-free pumpkin cheesecake. And years ago when I did Weight Watchers, I actually made it, and I may have even brought some slices to people at a Weight Watchers meeting. It was really good, a pumpkin cheesecake. And I think you used ginger snaps for the crust. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So it wasn't like totally sugar-free, but very close to it. So I will definitely be keeping that. This, you could tell, and there's a screw in there. I don't know where that came from. An old pizza pan that it's been out there in the garage, needs cleaning. But I like the fact it had holes in the bottom because I like a crispy crust. And it's, I guess, aluminum, or I think that's what this is. But I like it because I would do fries in here sometimes too, frozen fries, and the heat would come underneath and make them crispy. So I'll probably keep that, but I'm not going to keep these. These are some I got from, oh, sorry if that was loud in my microphone. I got these from Aldi back a couple of years ago. Even though I like the idea of it, because it's nice and thin, it has the handles and all the holes running through it. But what I have found, any of the dark cookware, maybe I have to put it on a lower temperature, I don't know. And these are non-stick, but it always burns. I haven't figured out how to get it not to. If y'all know how to use these without burning stuff, let me know. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I don't need a lot anyway. So these I'm not keeping. Ice trays, I might get a fridge with an ice maker. I don't know yet. But right now, I don't have, before my husband left, I don't know what happened, why he did it, but he unhooked the water line to my fridge. It did have an ice maker in it, but I don't anymore. So I have to use ice trays for now. But so this stack, mostly keeping. I have to see what these lids go to if I still have the containers. But I have too many containers. So I'll probably be doing another segment while I bring out all the containers and see which ones I should keep and which ones I should get rid of, because I do like to cook a large amount of something, and not like extreme amounts, but I'm used to cooking for a family. So it's harder for me to cook just a little bit. And because I work, I'm like, why do I want to cook a little bit a bunch of times when I could make a nice amount of that, freeze them in little containers, and then I got something when I don't feel like cooking, I could pull it out, which I like to do that with my homemade potato soup, especially in the wintertime. I try and have frozen soups in my freezer. That's a whole nother video though, so I won't get into that. But this is where I'm heading for now. This I'm keeping. These I'm getting rid of. She may want the pizza pan. I don't know. Probably put this lid over here. I don't know why I put that there. This will go to Goodwill. And this will go to my daughter. And these things, I have to figure out more. These are definitely keepers, these right here, and these things here. But I'm not sure about these things here. But anyway, that might have been boring for some of you guys. Some of you might have liked it. And if you did, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see when I have more videos out. And it does help the algorithm and help me get suggested to other viewers. So I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.